Okay, so this post is going to be about why do I want to talk about the topic of rape and sexual abuse. As I mentioned in my original video, that I do want this blog to be a lot about fashion and lifestyle, but I also want to talk about the more serious issues and sort of my experience with that. But before I sort of jump into that, I do want to explain why I feel that's important and why I actually want to do this. So basically, when I went through my experience, one of the major things that helped me get through that, and that's gotten me to where I am today, was the fact that I could talk about it. I really have amazing family, friends. At the time I had a great boyfriend with who I could share this stuff with, and really being able to just talk about these issues and what I was going through was a major step in my recovery. But when I started to sort of talk more openly about it, so with people in general, I realized that the whole topic of rape and sexual abuse is still, in our society, it's still very much taboo. We're able to talk about a lot of things nowadays, but rape and sexual abuse is still not really one of them. Don't mind my dog in the background. And so I decided that I wanted to sort of change that a little bit, and I wanted to encourage people to be able to tell their stories and talk about it, and make them realize that, you know, there's nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed, because that's usually the case, that people feel really ashamed of what happened to them, embarrassment, and when you do start to talk about it, a lot of people don't know how to react. So that's sort of what I want to break down, and I want it to be okay for anyone to just tell their story to the world, because it's so important to get your story out. I can't say this enough, honestly. To just keep it inside you, that's when, you know, your soul starts to really break. Honestly, it's so important to get your story out, and that's really what made the major difference in my life, is that now I'm able to talk about it really freely. I don't feel any sort of pain anymore, or really any emotions, because I've managed to really set it free. It's really out there, it's not bottled in. I don't feel like I have anything sort of stuck inside me anymore, if that makes sense. Like, it's just gone, and I've been able to heal from that. So that's the reason why I sort of want to do this. Previously, I've mainly spoken about this through Facebook, basically in my sort of status updates. But now I think I'm ready enough to talk about it on camera. I think it's going to have a bigger effect, and I will be sharing my story at some point, which I've not done yet. There's only a very few people, some close family and friends who know what happened. But now I think I'd like to share my story, just to encourage others to do the same, and move on with their life. The second thing I want to do is to show people that there is life after rape, and that it is, of course, it's a journey, and I want to sort of share my journey and what helped me and how I got over the process. Of course, it's something that will affect you, continue to affect you throughout your life, but you can really learn to live with it and be happy again. And that's sort of what I want to show. And if this helps even one person, then that will be, you know, that'll be enough, honestly. And then, yeah, I guess it's also a process for me. This will be, it'll be interesting to see how I react to this as well. I think it's going to be part of my healing at the same time. I mean, I'm doing really well now. It's been 8 years. I feel great. Of course, I've got my ups and downs from time to time, and I want to sort of share those sides as well. I want to explain what actually happens. Of course, you've got the incident, the abuse at the time, but really I want to explain as well the process after that, the aftermath, because that is such a huge part of the whole incident. And so the incident stretches out, and I want people to understand how it actually affects a person, and maybe for someone who's gone through this as well, to realize that they're not alone and what they're experiencing is completely normal. And of course everyone's different, so it's more about just sharing stories and making you realize that you're not alone in the world, and you can reach your goals and you can be happy again, and you will. I promise you. Life has so much to offer. There's so much joy, there's so much beauty in the world, and once you start to heal and recover, you'll realize that again. And as I said, a long process, but it's a journey. It's a journey to recovery. So I want to share my journey. And I would be really, really happy for anyone's comments, and if you'd like to share your story with me, then feel free. Of course, completely confidential. It's not like I'll tell anyone. But if you do need someone to talk to about it, you can always just write me a message. So yeah, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this post, and I look forward to starting sort of this journey. So yeah.